She's a world-renowned psychic, and we're putting her to the test.
I only want a yes or a no from you.
But aren't I helping you if I do that?
Watch this psychic in action and see if she falls for the bait. This Northwest town was known for its free-flowing moonshine and legal prostitution.
This was his town. You run it the way you like it, and if you didn't like it, you could always leave.
Surprising stories about the eccentric man who founded McCleary, Washington. 1999 is finally here. What will be your resolution for the new year?
I'm going to try not to talk bad about people and try not to dress like an elf anymore.
Northwesterners face the camera and make their promises for 99.
And join me, John Curley from the Pacific Science Center. You tend to want to keep the town around as long as possible. So what almost happened in McCleary, Washington? We find out in this Northwest flashback.
Well, it wasn't the most desirable place in the world to live.
I remember this town as a hoop-de-doo place. I mean, it was a lot of fun and a lot of people.
The sidewalks were board sidewalks, elevated up off the mud, you know.
At one time, we had a bowling alley, and we had everything.
Hard to believe Ellsworth Curran and John Anderson are talking about the same thing. The tiny town of McCleary, Washington, toward the start of the century. Probably the only opinion more divided than that of the town was the one on its namesake, founder Henry McCleary.
Oh, he was very definitely involved in it.
84-year-old Ted Rakowski worked for the lumber mill Henry McCleary owned. He remembers the day back in 1936 his boss struck back when the employees decided to unionize.
And it caused quite a disturbance here to where at the point they called in the state patrol and they lobbed a lot of tear gas at the picket lines.
He was always very nice to me.
John Anderson was a child when workers' desires for union protection and a better town put them squarely against the man who called the shots.
This was his town. You run it the way he liked it, and if you didn't like it, you could always leave.
Anderson remembers Henry McCleary as a man who held a soft spot for children. Ironic when you consider Henry McCleary scared many adults. But there were other ironies here. By 1918, the town of McCleary may have been getting a national reputation for making the finest fur doors around, but it was also getting a reputation for making something else. The finest moonshine around.
This is a part of 20,000 quarts of whiskey now being destroyed under court order.
During Prohibition, when most town leaders were cracking down on all still operators, Henry McCleary just targeted the bad ones.
Because he didn't want people dying of terrible ailments and losing their mind.
The town of McCleary was quickly becoming a moonshine capital, with prostitution not far behind.
Well, as long as people run their own business, he minded his own business.
The glory days of McCleary, or the ragged days, depending on where you stood, ended in 1943, when Henry McCleary sold the mill and the town to Simpson Lumber.
It was on the verge of becoming a ghost town.
We had all kinds of people here that were lots and lots of fun.
Today, old-timers still argue over their town's history. A history that, like every fur door here, shows two intricate yet completely different sides.
Henry sold the town right after his workers unionized, and then a month later, he died in 1943.